everyone, it's Essie here with a process video using the Simple Stories Oh Baby range. I've been having a bit of a clear out in my scrap space, and I've sorted out a load of papers that I'm going to donate to charity shop or my local crop. And while I was doing that, I've also come across some paper collections that I've had for ages and I've been saving because they're so beautiful, and I always save the collections that I like the most. Um, and so I haven't used it. So I decided it was about time I did. So I've chosen the papers that I want to use, and you can see I've got that lovely cut file there that says "Love You to the Moon." And I've just cut a piece of the patterned paper to size. I've drawn round the cut file and cut out the piece of patterned paper, and I'm now gluing the cut file onto my patterned paper, just just like that. So when you cut round, you don't have to be too exact, because obviously you've got the edge of the cut file that goes that hides any kind of jagged cutting or anything, so you don't have to be too careful or too precise. So that done, I'm now preparing my background sheet. Now, I very rarely use only patterned paper. I'm usually my background is white cardstock with mixed media on, or scraps of patterned paper or whatever. I very rarely use a whole sheet of patterned paper for my background. So this is a bit of a out of my comfort zone for me. I've got these two photographs of me and my great nephew. This was at a family barbecue last summer, 2018, and I'm just mounting them onto some white cardstock because I printed them without a border. So I'm just mounting them, and I'm sticking them on one piece together so that they've just got a border around the edges and then a little white strip down the middle there. So now I've got the photographs prepared, and I've kind of got an idea about how I want them positioned. I want some more patterned paper behind them to break up that background. So I've got the 6x8 paper pad from the same collection, and I'm just going through and having a look at the patterns in that pad. And I'm going to go with that checked pattern there, and just moving it around, just having a think about where I want it. And having done that, I decide actually that I want the pattern to go right the way across. So I've dug out the 12x12 sheet in the same pattern and cut a larger strip so that it goes the whole width of that background paper. Now I've got that in place, I'm thinking about what else, and I want to put some little borders on the top and the bottom of that patterned panel. So just using that patterned paper there with the ric-rac type strips along it. This makes a great borders and things. You can slice that page up for borders. So I'm just positioning that panel there so that I wanted a blue border, or the ric-rac in blue showing on both edges. So just getting that in position, and just making sure I've got it where I want it. And I don't know what I'm doing there, fiddling. I think I'd lost my photographs under my pile of paper. So just having a look, getting the positioning right. Yep, want it a little bit higher. Marking with a pencil so that I don't forget where I want it, and just putting my tape runner down the edges and popping that in place. So now that's done, I'm going to stick my cut file on, and I'm going to use foam sheets to raise the cut file from the background a little bit. So just putting some fairly large sections of foam on the back. And then just obviously putting some tape runner on the other side to stick it down with. So now that's in place, thinking about what else I want behind my photograph. I've cut a foam square there because I'm going to use that on my photograph, but I want another layer behind my photo before I stick it down. So I'm just going to add it, mount it onto this pretty patterned floral sheet from the 8x6 pad, just to give a little bit more detail around the edges of my photo. And then I'm going to stick that down in place with the foam. Just going to add another little bit on the right hand side. And the foam tape. And that's in position. So now I've got my main features on my page. I've got my background, I've got the panel breaking it up, I've got the cut file, and I've got my photographs. I'm going to start embellishing. So I found this white rickrack ribbon and I've cut it. This is all I had and it just about goes. So I'm just gluing that on with some Tombow wet glue. And yeah, there is a gap there, but I'd already decided I was going to put that chipboard shape in that gap, and I've gone off camera here, sorry, but I'm just putting a bit of foam on the back. It is a self-adhesive chipboard, but I wanted to raise it so that it was the same height as the cut file, so I've just added some foam to the back of that as well. And then I'm just carrying on adding the glue and sticking down the rest of the little bits of rickrack. Luckily, obviously on that bottom edge there wasn't much of the edge showing because of the cut file, so I only needed a couple of little pieces. And now I'm getting my sticker sheets. I've got the sticker sheet from the collection pack, and I also bought some chipboard stickers and those clear stickers you can see on the right there. And I'm starting off with a word strip that I'm just going to pop down there under the photograph, and having a look at what else I want to pop around my photograph. So I decided I'm going to do 2 clusters on the diagonal, just nestled in the curve of the moon shape, and then at the edge. So just sticking some stars and hearts around those word strips and the cloud. Sticking some more words. I love word strips. I use them on every layout. I love text, and I love word strips. So just adding some more. I'm going to add a little tab there under that one, just to give a little bit more detail to the edge. And that's the same pattern as the background paper, so that just kind of brings that into that cluster. Just using my glue pen on that to stick it. And then just making sure I don't always stick things down firmly when I first place them on the layout in case I change my mind. So every now and again you'll see me kind of push things down, make sure that they are firmly stuck. Many a times I've picked up a layout even thinking I've finished, and a couple of bits drop off because I hadn't pressed them firmly enough. Just adding some more stars and hearts, and a little tab up there on the top above that word strip. And then I'm going to add, and I wanted something that I felt like I needed something to fill the gap above the cloud. So I've just come in with that clear sticker there, and I've stuck it onto a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to attach it with some silicone glue gel just to raise it up a little. But the silicone glue gel means that I can kind of define the height. So I'm just going to tuck it in under the chipboard sticker, but it's still raised slightly from the background. And now I need to balance that because I've now got that black sticker up in that left hand side. I need to balance that in the other cluster. So I've just chosen a little word sticker from the same sticker sheet, and I'm adding that down the bottom there. And I'm going to add some tiny little black hearts as well just to bring in the black a little bit more to balance it out. Just fiddling with the positioning there. Oh, and clearing, I think I've got some silicone glue spreading out from under that word strip, so just clearing that up. And I think I'm pretty much there. I'm going to, oh no, adding another phrase sticker up the top there. Just adding another word on top of that tab. And now the finishing touch is, as is often the way with my layouts, is some Nuvo drops. And I've got some blue. I'm just going to add some blue and some white. So just little, I often sort of do groups of 3 or just single dots. I'm just adding the white ones and then some more in the cluster around the top there. I really hope you've enjoyed watching my process video, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.